And a great day to everyone logging on to Money Show's Virtual Expo. Thank you so much for being here. We are pleased to welcome Kenny Glick, often referred to as the grandfather of day trading. He's been trading for over 30 years. He now focuses all his trading on volume-weighted average price. Using an algorithm that he's built around the VWAP, his primary focus is on exploiting previous mistakes over the last 30 years. Kenny uses VWAP to prove the market is in fact rigged, and that's a good thing. It's rigged to VWAP and multiple time frame VWAP. Kenny spends most of his time on his own website, hitthebid.com, doing live webinars all day. He demonstrates to his members the intricacies of VWAP in the live setting, and viewers are able to follow along with his live trades and gain an education through the commentary. Kenny, thank you so much for being here today. It's all yours.
All right. You guys hear me okay? I'm assuming. Testing one, two, one, two. By the way, fantastic intro. I also like long walks on the beach and to be held. How are you? Good to see you. We're actually trading right now. I am a live trader, and when they say I'm the grandfather of the industry, I might not look old, but I'm pushing 55, and I will be live actually in Vegas come at the end of February. So if you are going to be in Vegas, come meet us at the meet and greet. I'll be there Monday evening. I'll be doing a live session at 8:30 in the morning. It's going to be a hoot. And then I'll be doing another live session at 1:30 going over some of the chart patterns I'm going to show you today. And yep, like the intro said, and sorry I didn't catch his name there, but you know, I do this live almost every day. We've launched websites back in '07 when it was actually very difficult to do streaming. Now we click a button and we're off and running. So I believe you see my charts, and I'm just going to go right into it. So, like I said, I've been doing this for 30 years. I didn't even use charts when we started trading. We were called the So's Bandits, and we were just looking at the tape, old school tape reading. It was the first time that traders were able to see the market makers, and we basically followed what we called the axe. So the first thing I learned as a trader was to go where the money was going. Look where Goldman Sachs was going high bid, see if Morgan Stanley was following along. And the momentum of that trade is what we did. So we would buy the momentum, and then we were hoping that Goldman Sachs still had our back and he would go high bid, and then we'd sows in and what we called select net out. So it was just the first time that the retail trader had kind of a level playing field with the big guys. Fast forward way, way, way into the future, and I've had some highs and lows. I was a big shorter of the dot coms. My dad, conservative investor. We sat there just in utter amazement on what we were seeing. You put a price target on a $40 stock at $80 and went to $80 the next day. This is not how the market's supposed to work. Stocks are doubling in 3 days because an analyst said it was going to go there. Crazy times. And, I was a little bit early to start shorting, but I was rewarded handsomely. I lived off that money for quite some time, and that kind of went to my head. I became a shorter, a bearish kind of guy because I was born into the weird part of Wall Street, the boiler rooms, and then I became a trader. Thankfully, I won't go into the boiler room days. Just awful. Not good at it because I'm more of a schmoozer and I like to get to know people, and it was, scammy. But that's why trading independently really just gelled with me because now I could do this on my own. I knew, I had a little knack for it. And like I said, I did pretty well. And then it went to my head, and then 2008 came around and the market was falling apart. It was my time to shine again. And that's when I really got myself in trouble 2012, 2013, 2014. I just thought I knew more about the market than anybody on earth. I made money shorting, which is it's a very difficult endeavor. We're generally in a perpetual bull market, but man, did I get a wake-up call in 2012, 2013, and most of 2014 to the point where, I gave back a large chunk of that money I made. Wife and I were fighting. My kids were going to disown me. It was an ugly time, and I didn't know what I was going to do. And then I went back to what worked. And what worked was I started learning about chart pattern recognition, and I also started learning about VWAP. And also, before we get started, let's have this discussion. I know it's a sensitive topic. It's VWAP, not VWAP. There is no O in VWAP. It's VWAP. And if you guys really want to take it to another level, I just want to just Just take a moment. I know it's a stressful market and the Fed's about to raise or lower interest rates. Hopefully, he raises them. Let's just take a moment to reflect. Close your eyes and enjoy. Breathe in the VWAP and breathe out the fear. One more time. Breathe in the VWAP and breathe out the VWAP. Thank you. So let's get into this. So I'll just show you a couple of trades that we did. And so what I basically do now since 2015, and I do this as my religion now, if you haven't noticed, it's going on 11 years. I don't do any other trading. Sure, I've taken a swing trade from here or there, and I own the QQQ since inception. But what I do on a daily basis is this trade. And I want to throw a number out there that might just blow your mind. 1,193 trades in a row over the last 4 years for success using this setup. What? Yep. We're at 1,193 trades, and we had three more today. This particular setup provides a winning trade. And for the active trader, sometimes it's a 3-minute trade, sometimes it's a 12-minute trade, and a couple of them were a whole whopping 2 hours today. But when you find this setup, it's chart pattern recognition, earnings gap reversion, volume weighted average price trading. Say that again. I dare you. Earnings reversion, gap reversion, volume weighted average price trading. So let me explain. So every morning, what we look at is stocks that reported earnings. And one today was our favorite. And if you guys have been trading as long as I have, we used to call this bad boy glowworm, GLW. You guys remember GLW? Of course you do. When fiber optics was going crazy, it wasn't just your mom's cooking ware. It became a fiber optic company, and it was a juggernaut. I don't really look at this company too often except when they report earnings. So let me clean up this chart and you'll see how beautifully, wonderfully splendid and simple my charts are. So right now you're looking at typical candlesticks, right? So my normal day goes, okay, I'm waking up. Who reported last night? GLW. Who reported this morning? Starbucks. I'll get to that trade in a second. So what you're looking at the chart right now is just as clean as it could possibly be. The blue line is today's VWAP. The orange line is my special sauce. We call it multiple time frame VWAP. Some might have heard it being called anchored VWAP. My hero and my mentor wrote a book about it, Anchored VWAP. So I took what his idea was using VWAP on a multiple time frame. And again, when I first started this, I'm like, who cares about multiple time frame VWAP? And then I started looking at the charts and I'm like, apparently I care about multiple time frame VWAP because it was lining up with the way I trade anyway, just on chart pattern recognition and candlesticks highs and lows. So then I took what I already was doing and I plotted the VWAP on top of that, and poof, a new career has been born, and I'm never looking back. So what I look for is a stock, and I go, the reason I say it's gap reversion is if a stock is gapped up, right? Everybody's all excited, the numbers were good, or whatever the case might be, got upgraded. And the reason I love this trade so much is that it makes sense. Because if a stock is gapped up on earnings, remember, somebody bought it yesterday or 2 days ago, or has been speculating over the last 3 months that they were going to have a good report. So, how do you make money? You chickadee ching, you cash out of the stock, right? So this tells you when the institutions, not, ordinary Joe's doing 1,000 shares or 300 shares of the stock. I am not moving the stock. You are not moving the stock, or maybe you are. Congratulations if you are. But generally, you want to go where the institutional money flow is, and that is VWAP. So what we're looking at right here is there's two chart patterns all on this chart. And again, if you could conquer the chart pattern throughout the day, you could conquer your week, your month, your life, because these chart patterns replicate on every time frame. That's why I stick with this chart pattern analysis meets the VWAP. So when I see a stock that is gapped up on earnings, and again, when I woke up this morning, it was already up. If it breaks the blue line, it tends to go to the orange line. Voila, there it is. It's a pretty simple procedure. Stock breaks the blue line. That is institutions exiting the trade or taking their profit. Makes a lot of sense. A lot of trading is counterintuitive. This is not. It's actually very self-explanatory. Institutions are getting out, taking profits. We join in. We don't need to know why. We don't need to know the earnings. We just know the earnings are out. And now there's going to be more activity on that stock so we could participate. But Kenny, I'm not up at 7 o'clock in the morning trading, you psycho. Okay, maybe you weren't. So then what we got here is the first chart pattern is that finger of God. It breaks a new high, rolls over, breaks VWAP. Okay, so let's say you rolled into this market at around 7:15 when I did. We also have a chart pattern called a fake out, shake out, VWAP break. So what we look for is a stock that breaks a new low, then another new low, then it comes back and tests that low right there from on top. That's our first indication that, the bottom might be in. Nobody's picking bottoms here. The bottom picks itself. Then we look for the VWAP to confirm that this is a real bottom. And that's when we join in with limited risk. Every trade I put on right now, and every trade I put on over the last decade, I know why I'm getting in, and more importantly, I know where I'm getting out when I'm wrong. Maybe it's a little pessimistic, but I plan to be wrong on every trade. That's just me. You could be an optimist and say, where am I getting out of profit? That's second. For me, it's the third. So if I'm buying VWAP here, I know the levels where it FOD and showed the fake out, shake out are going to be my danger zones. There's no way am I letting that stock go back below those prices. But like I said, 1,100 trades, almost 1,200 trades in a row, you got a chance to make money. And what are we doing as day trading? We want to get paid. We want to get paid as soon as possible. And I want to go back to sleep sometimes. Where's my guys on the West Coast? We're talking about 5 o'clock in the morning here. You could bang out a winner, go back to sleep, wake up, and go to your real job. Or for my young bucks out there, I can tell your mom you have a job now, right? And if you're thinking about going to college, well, we don't want to get into the whole conversation about college and whether or not I could save you from all that money you're about to spend, but I can. So here's the trade. Very, very simple. You got the fake out, shake out. And the better that you get at this, you'll start buying the stock in here because the risk is defined. You could be buying this thing at 105 or 106. But let's say you wanted to wait for that VWAP confirmation. That's why you're here. There it is. Breaking the VWAP, you're buying the stock at $108.21. Your stops are basically the 103 and down there at the 102.95. And lo and behold, you get through today's VWAP and the prior day VWAP and you start to rally. Now look at this, what we're talking about here. We're talking about 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 5 minutes, 6 minutes, 6 whole minutes. I could tell a joke about my sex life right now, but I'll leave that to Vegas. In 6 minutes, my friends, we're getting paid. And again, this doesn't have to be a hero trade. And if somebody say, well, what's the size you're putting on? Another sexual joke right there. But size, it matters, but it's all relative. Maybe you put 300 shares on. So what we do as traders is we look at where the stock had gone from earlier, and that's one of our targets. So if we're buying something here at 108, and next thing you know, it's at 111, chickadee ching, we're cashing out at least half the trade. Now, you can't lose. What movie? You better know my movie quotes. Now you can't lose. So then when it starts to roll over, we're not delusional. We understand that these trades, sometimes they're 3 minutes, 5 minutes, but if the trend breaks and goes back below prior day VWAP, what we thought was about to go higher isn't going any higher, and we sell the rest right there and we cut the trade free. So we've taken profit on half the trade, sell some at maybe just a little bit of a profit, and sure, you get out a small profit on that last lot, but by the time you're out of it, you've already made that money. Now, fast forward. The day just began. You already made money on this trade. And lo and behold, what do you have here? You got yourself a fake out, shake out, VWAP break. So maybe you weren't even awake for that trade. The same trade exactly sets up for you an hour and 20 minutes later. Let's buy it again. And this time you're getting it in cheaper because the VWAP has trailed down. So we're getting a FO, we're getting a show, we're getting a VWAP break. We're using the fake out and the shake out as our outs, clearly defining the trade. Every trade we do has very limited risk for medium, large, and extra large rewards, right? That's trading. And here we are again. We're buying this thing at 107.50. Woo! Right back to the 111.50. How are you doing? You're doing fine. Kiggity, chiggity, ching, because you learned your lesson this time. Let's sell here. Here you think it's going higher. And oh no, it rolls over again. What are you doing here? Selling the rest. And this time you're getting out at 109 and your entry price was 107.50. This is just one morning. The market hasn't even opened yet, my friends. And we've already done two winning trades just based on this wonderful setup on a stock that we never look at. And the only reason we're looking at it is because they reported earnings. But wait, there's more. You like options? So do I. You can't trade options in the pre-market. Check this out, my friends. You guys heard about this chart pattern? Yeah, it's called the faux show VWAP break through the multi-day. That's what we call the orange line. It's the prior day VWAP, or how I have it anchored. It's multiple time frame VWAP. So you missed it the first time, you missed it the second time. Maybe by this time you've learned. Hey, this chart pattern seems pretty exciting. I think I'm going to do this trade. Exactly. So you're buying it right here as the market opens up. Again, 108 using the 106.62 and the 106 as your stops. And look at what it did again. It went to the same exact price. Wouldn't you know it? And you're cashing out right here. And then again, you're expecting to get paid some more. This time we did get paid a little bit more because 112.50 is one of our targets. And then it rolls over. And then it holds the VWAP. And we're thinking, hey, maybe we're going to hang in there with this one. But then it breaks the VWAP. Now, here's the real exciting part. As a day trader who's sitting there glued to your desk, this is what we do. We made money on this trade long 3 times, but now it's telling us, wait a second, something's different here. It's breaking VWAP and testing it from underneath. Maybe I should go short? Yes, yes, you can actually short stocks in a bull market when this setup happens, because this is a very detrimental to your health market if you're a shorter, if you haven't noticed. Very difficult to be a shorter. Take it from me. I know. All right. But in this case, if you got paid on 3 long trades and now it's telling you, it's giving you permission, so to speak, to get short that trade. And then look where she goes, way back where the whole game got started. So you went from a long trade, a long trade, a long trade into cashing out and having the courage or the intuition or just the, what we say is we don't need to speculate, we react. Because in this case, if you're shorter here, just flip the script. I'm going to show you something, how you could actually flip the script. Put a minus sign next to the GLW and literally flip the script. Wouldn't that look like something you're buying? But now, here it is. There's your fake them out, shake them out, fake them out, shake them out, VWAP break. Wouldn't you be buying this? So why not short it? And that's just one name, my friends. And as a day trader, what are you trying to do? You're trying to get paid every day as much as you possibly can, using risk management, money management, discipline, patience, all of that stuff, all of that wonderful cliche of trading, discipline, patience, having something that works, sticking to something, avoiding pitfalls, not over trading. If the setup is there, you take the trade. If the setup is not there, you don't take the trade. So everything that you need to know about trading is all rolled up into this one wonderful indicator that we have here, known as multiple time frame VWAP. And when you join my website, we give it to you. And by the way, let me take a moment right now. If anybody wants to see this in action, like I said, I'm going to be doing a live session in Vegas, but I do this every day. And tomorrow night, we do something really, really special. Me and my partner, we call him Solid. He's built an algorithm around this stuff. It's something to behold. And on Thursday nights, we are such geeks about this. And we have no lives. I'll just be honest, we have no lives. I mean, I'm married, yeah, sure, I got 2 kids. Have no life. I love this stuff so much. It's riveting to me. I've been doing this for 30 something years. I'm still fascinated every day when I wake up. This is not a job to me. It's an adventure. Yeah, this is just the greatest time to be a trader. COVID has brought back day trading in a big way, and there used to be something called, it still is, called a crowded trade. Everybody's excited about something that kind of ruins the trade. The more people that know this trade, the better it's getting. Like I said, 1,193 trades in a row over the last 4 years for profitability just using this setup. So I know I can't see you guys live, but I will show you a couple of the trades. So let's talk about Starbucks, right? Another perfect example. Let me get rid of the red lines and I'm going to walk you through this one. So why are we trading Starbucks? Take a wild guess. They reported earnings. Exactly. Thank you, guy in the back, right? So, guy in the back, he didn't wake up in time to enjoy the first move, right? He didn't enjoy the second move. He just woke up at 8:30, and also that guy over there, that guy, he still thinks the market opens up at 9:30. Actually, I met somebody who didn't realize the market was open before. We're in a 24-hour market, sir. You didn't realize that? Okay. But here's the case, right? So let's say you made money on the short, you made money on the long, and you're just rolling in. Fake them out, shake them out, VWAP break. You got paid. But just like that GLW trade, what happened? It rolled over. So in this case, this is where I like being a bear. To me, the stock was strong. I was looking for a reason to short it. And what's that reason? VWAP break. So as it's rolling over, the reason I call it the finger of God, it's kind of like a knuckle. So the faux show, bro, it's breaking a new low, then coming back. The faux show, bro, the stock breaks a new high, then it rolls over and breaks VWAP. And what that's giving you is giving you a defined trade. Discipline, patience, understanding, right? So you're shorting the stock here at 103, basically 101 was basically 102.90, and you know a few things. You're going to cover if it breaks the high of the 930, and you're going to cover the rest if it breaks the pre-market highs. You're not going to let a stock break pre-market highs or the high of the day without you covering. Of course not, unless you're psychotic in a bull market, especially, right? And what do we see here, my friends? Blue line to orange line, blue line to orange line. So let's talk about trading for a second. What is it? You want to buy a stock and you kind of want to know why you're buying it and where it could go, right? And if you're shorting stock, you want to know why you're shorting it and where it could go. What if it's on the chart already for you, telling you where the algorithmic nature of this stock is before you trade? Kind of makes it a little bit easier, doesn't it? Right? So if you're shorting here, clearly identifying your risk, you also know your reward. Yes, guy in the back. Look at you paying attention. Risk reward clearly defined. And here we have another gap reversion pattern recognition VWAP trade. Say that again loud. Gap reversion, volume weighted average price. There it is. And it's fantastic. And it happens every single day on most stocks that are reporting earnings. So the reason that we go, when we trade these stocks that report earnings is why? More volume. More volume, more better. We trade volume weighted average price. So if there's going to be more volume, there's going to be more volatility. Volatility is our friend. Most people are kind of bewildered at earnings. They look at a headline. Hey, this reported great earnings. How come the stock's going down? Because it is, sir. Because it is. Because somebody already bought it 3 days ago and they're cashing out on your dime. You just read a headline and you're buying a stock? That doesn't really work too often. What we do works, and it works now. It's kind of working every time it shows up, which is kind of weird. I must admit, I'm assuming one of these trades is not going to work. So today I'll show you a couple other ones. Whoa, hello. Let me get this one out. Do you understand UNH? They reported earnings yesterday, right? Okay. So I know they got hammered yesterday, right? And I came in this morning and I'm saying, all right, just give me a reason to buy some UNH. They're not going out of business, right? So they'll probably look to be some buyers. And what I use this trade for, not only is it a great setup, it also confirms my bias. So I come in, again, my mentor's name is Isaac. Shout out to Isaac. He once told me, don't come into the day with a preconceived notion of what you think's going to happen, because then it will take you that much longer to admit you're wrong, readjust how you're thinking, and then put the trade on. So I come in, I know my ideas, and then I wait for them to be validated. So you got an idea, you got an inkling, you got a thesis. Well, I woke up this morning, I'm like, you know what? There's going to be some buying on UNH, but do I care what I think? No. I don't make money trading what I think. Doesn't really work. But when my thinking gets validated by a 1 minute multi-day VWAP break, I'm in. So I'm buying it right here. And what am I using? I'm using the orange line and the blue line as my outs. And lo and behold, we're chickadee ching getting paid. So somebody said, but Kenny, I don't really want to trade the open. I'm scared. You never know what's going to happen at the open. And I said, oh, good. Why don't you just wait for that pattern to show up around VWAP? And look at this bad boy. Fake them out, shake them out, VWAP break. What are you doing? You're buying it here at 288.75. You're looking at a 287.64 as the first stop. Your second stop is the bottom right there, 287.19. Clearly identifying your risk. And your reward is where the stock went to prior to that last move. And chickadee ching, cashing out. And next thing you know, you're getting paid on a second entry on UNH. So let's round this whole bad boy up. I know we only have a half an hour to spend. My email address is kennyglick@aol.com. That's really why we're here. kennyglick@aol.com. You can laugh. It's all right. It's a think piece. kennyglick@aol. That's right. I still use dial-up. Maybe I should be maybe I should step up my game. Maybe my trading would be better. kennyglick@aol.com. kennyglick@aol.com. You're going to email me right now, and I'm going to send you a link to hang out. No strings attached. You just got to come up with a funny nickname for yourself. All right. Don't come in saying my name is John. Got to have a weird nickname to hang out with us. I'm the Warlock. My pile is solid. We got the Minotaur. We got Viper. We got his name is Pete, but his real name is Howard. I don't know where he came up with that nickname, but okay. Just email me and I will send you a link and you'll be able to hang out with us for the next 48 hours. No strings attached. I don't even need to know your real name. Just come and see this trade live because I know we've only banged it out a couple of times here in a half an hour, but to see this in a live arena, hearing me talk, and this is basically what you see every day. You'll see my scanners going, and you'll see, again, there's a lot of stuff going on because we want to track some stuff. This trade has been a godsend, and it really has saved my career. And when I say VWAP has saved my life, I was in a bad way. Like I said, for 3 years, fighting this market, thought I knew more about everybody, about anything, and I just got hammered and hammered and hammered. So I went right back to this trade that's been working for me to the 90s. And like I said, once I put VWAP over it, it's basically telling me when I'm right, but really most importantly, it's telling me when I'm wrong. What was one of those other trades that we did today? I almost forgot how many trades we did today. So it was Starbucks, GLW, UNH, and then you had, oh, right, you guys are loving the silver, by the way. My name is Kenny Glick. I've been buying silver since 1987. I was a baseball card kid. I traded a Johnny Bench rookie card and an 84 Donruss Mattingly for an ounce of gold and some silver coins, and I was hooked ever since. Right now, I'm sifting through my 1976 silver to see if I got any rare ones in there. But suffice it to say, I've been buying silver, and now I don't plan to sell. And I'm actually been buying more, and I've been buying more through the 80s. And again, if you guys know 50 gets you 80, 80 gets you 120. Most of my members are loaded up on silver from 50, and we've been trading something called AGQ. So AGQ is a leveraged version of silver. So if you were wondering if VWAP transcends all time and space, it certainly does, sir. It certainly does. So right here, what are we looking at? So again, I'm not selling, but I want to hedge myself. I'm not going to short silver just because I'm loaded up on bullion and coins and collectibles, but I will short it when chart pattern analysis provides me an opportunity to go short. And look at this. There's the finger of God. There's the VWAP break. And we shorted some AGQ today at 384, and it tanked down about 14 points. You know what that pays for? More coins for me. So take a second right now. I know we only got half an hour. Thank you for having me this afternoon. Fantastic event. Can't wait to meet you guys in Vegas. If you are in Vegas, again, drinks are on me. If you meet me at the Cosmo, at the Ghost Donkey on Tuesday night, I'll buy you a cocktail, and maybe I'll get you a VWAP t-shirt. But take a second right now. Email me, kennyglick@aol.com. I'll send you out a link. We'll get to know each other a little bit more intimately. No, not like that. kennyglick@aol.com. Send me a link. I'll send you a link. I'll show you these trades live. You get to meet my pal Sal. You'll see our algorithm, and we'll all live happily ever after. Thanks for a lot for stopping in, and I hope to show you more.
All right, Kenny, thank you so much for being here. Appreciate you taking the time out. We'll see you out in Vegas.
All right. Take care, everybody. See ya.
And a big thank you to all those in attendance. You're watching Money Show's Virtual Expo, your 2026 portfolio review. We were just speaking with Kenny Glick, founder hitthebid.com. Be sure to email him, like he said. Stick around, we'll have more great content coming your way. Thanks for being here.
Thanks, bro.
Appreciate you.
Gotcha, man. See you in Vegas.